One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
My friends, my family, warriors, welcome to episode 252. You are listening to the Anxiety Guy podcast. I am your host, Dennis Simsek. And in today's podcast episode, I will be discussing your 5 options in terms of how to respond to anxiety and panic in the moment. Before I get into it, understand that this podcast episode is brought to you by F Coping Start Healing. The audiobook is coming out very, very soon. But right now you can pick up the digital and the paperback copy on Amazon, F Coping Start Healing. Begin your journey with me today. And warriors, let's get real for a second, shall we? Let's get real. In the moment of anxiety and panic, it's not really easy to respond in a way that promotes a healing path. You're so caught up emotionally and mentally, it's difficult. But the truth is that we have to create a certain amount of awareness in terms of what we can do to respond to the system that is frantic, that is sensitized. Remember, warriors, that a moment of anxiousness is our goal. A moment of anxiousness is our goal? What do you mean, Dennis? What I mean is that a moment of sensitivity is simply a sign, a message from the subconscious inner child, and that's okay. We don't need to allow a moment to lead to a day or a week or a month of anxiousness. You talk to a lot of people, they go, why are you anxious? They go, well, this thing happened to me like a month ago or 2 months ago. Well, it's in the past, and if you would have responded better, then you would have been able to think beyond the symptoms. Our default mode is franticness. It's franticness. When something doesn't go our way, we feel the symptom arising within us, or someone criticizes us from the outside, whatever it may be, we get frantic. This is our auto response. But warriors, this isn't your adult response. This is the child response. And because it's the child response, it's your job to be the adult that the child needed when you were a kid. So we need to step up starting today. And of course, there are so many different ways to respond to anxiousness in the moment. There are. But I want to present to you just 5 of them. Because you can begin thinking today rather than reacting. You can respond rather than be frantic. And the first option that you have in the moment of anxiousness is mental. It's called perceptual substitution. Perceptual substitution creates a replacement label over what's taking place. An idea that can form into a belief if it is consistently used. And so these perceptual substitutions recognize that there's a different way for me to perceive what's taking place. I'm at the gym and my heart rate is going up. Well, it doesn't mean that I'm in trouble. It means that my heart is getting stronger. Yes. My depersonalization is kicking in, and usually it turns me into someone frantic and I feel like I'm losing everything. But the truth is that depersonalization makes me feel kind of detached and kind of relaxed, almost like I've had a couple of drinks in me, alcoholic beverages. It's the perception that will lead to the feeling that you feel. So you can begin today perceptually substituting one fearful response or reaction with a new one. Number 2 is a replacement action. Now, this is behavioral warriors. This is where you're acting without thought. You're acting opposing the fear. It comes with a feeling of being naked and vulnerable. Oh God, if I do that thing that I normally don't do, I feel naked. I feel very vulnerable. It's certainly different, and it fills me with a sense of sensitivity. Well, guess what? It's the exact direction you need to go to heal. So without so much thinking or the replacement perception, you can just replace an action with a new action. An example would be, well, when I order that tea from the cafe, usually I just order the tea and I just kind of go and sit down. But this time, I'm going to spark a conversation with the barista there. We're going to talk about her hair a bit. We're going to talk about how long she's been working here. Heck, I'm going to ask her questions I normally don't. That's a replacement action. Remember, it's experience that changes the neural wiring in your brain. If you don't do anything different, nothing is going to change. Your third option in the moment of anxiousness is riding the wave, as many of you know through the End the Anxiety program. Riding the wave is deeper understanding. Riding the wave is unresponsive. Now, being unresponsive scares some people. It scares them because a lot of people feel like they always need to do something about everything. And this idea of just simply riding the wave is a feeling of letting go, is a feeling of detachment, is a feeling of trust in something that you don't know and is potentially unknowable. This is a feeling of giving up, but not giving up on yourself, but giving up the need for control, the need for certainty, and the need for familiarity. This is a giving up in effort. And so what tends to happen is there's a tremendous amount of insight from this kind of giving up and riding the wave. So some people out there can really apply this very, very well. You tell them, okay, well, just ride the wave. And so they go ahead and ride the wave. They get the symptom, the bodily symptom. They get the intrusive thought. Someone criticizes them. Something happens externally or internally. And in that moment, they have the awareness to say, well, ride the wave. And when they do, they recognize that their past reactions only ate up more time, more energy, and made their lives worse. When they ride the wave, they create deeper epiphanies within them. They go, my God, I've been wasting a lot of time on this. I can now see beyond this fear or this lie that has been causing me anxiousness in the past. So riding the wave is deeper understanding, it's unresponsiveness, and it's another way for us to respond in the moment of anxiousness. Another way is to ridicule the fear. Ridicule the fear. This is very internal. This is very verbal on the inside, and it leads to a new focus. Ridiculing the fear gets us to see beyond it. We can listen to it through the tone of voice of Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck. We can remember all the time and energy wasted being frantic about it, and we're starting to tap into dissatisfaction. So when you make a joke out of the fear, when you ridicule it in some way, or if you listen to it through the tone of voice of someone that you find comedic, we can begin becoming more disinterested by the fear. And remember, disinterest is the key to healing anxiety. The more disinterested you are in one idea, the more interested you're going to be in another idea. But because you're so interested in the catastrophic perception that you're perceiving and thinking, you keep paying so much attention to it, and the other beautiful, loving ideas are getting no attention. They're back there going, hello, we're here, right? There's still parts of you that need attention, but you're neglecting them because your survival side, your survival brain is dictating how you're perceiving every moment of every day. But we can shut this survival down and we can start experiencing life the way it's meant to be experienced by ridiculing the fear. This is ridiculous. Am I really going to spend this much time thinking that this symptom can lead to a catastrophic situation or it's some kind of illness? How ridiculous. Number 5 is loving it, loving the anxiousness for its unconditional love. My goodness. Can you imagine loving the very thing that you hate for its unconditional love? This is beyond the instincts. This is beyond the intellect. This is moving towards intuition. What this is higher thinking, seeing the inner child's protectiveness and thanking it. Cooperation between the adult and the younger version of you, the inner child. Guidance, which allows the mind to overcome the body. Loving what you're currently hoping doesn't show up or continuously is showing up within the realm of fear because of its unconditional love for you. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for the ideas, but let me guide you in another direction here. Remember, warriors, respond, never react, and you will be met with resistance. Upon meeting with this resistance, you have the opportunity to reprogram yourself in a way that's greater than your past. This is where your true personal creativity lies. We're moving towards the intuition age, and it's time you got on board. I love you from the bottom of my heart. If you're enjoying this podcast, please give it a positive rate and review. Use these tools. Listen to this episode a couple times. Let it sink in. And if you have any other questions on any of my programs, head over to theanxietyguy.com today. You are more than anxiety. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.